morning, Gulf South. Good morning to the Permian Basin. Good morning, Appalachia. Good morning to everyone who showed up today knowing that something is not right in this world and choosing to do something about it. Before we go any further, I want you all to turn to somebody near you, next to you, someone you don't know, someone you came with, and say, good morning. Say, today's a good day to do some good trouble. That's right, folks, because while we're standing here today, the unfortunate truth is just a couple of blocks away, some of the most powerful corporations in the world are gathered at CERAWeek, making decisions about our First Peoples' land, their water, and our futures without us. They call it energy leadership. We call it what it is. Say it after me. Extraction.
Extraction.
Exploitation.
Exploitation.
And sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Now, before we continue, I want to make sure we're all grounded and taking care of each other as we go and delve into our activities. If you are one of our medics, can you raise your hand right now? If you're one of our medics, can you raise your hand? Medics, raise your hands. Sweet, they're right over down there. Sweet, so we've got medics on the ground for folks to help take care. These are the folks helping keep us safe today. If you are one of our marshals in the beautiful, beautiful blue and neon vest, can you please raise your hand as well? Sweet, these are our marshals. Let's help give a round of applause for our marshals and our medics. They'll be helping guide the march and keep us together. Thank you so much. So we appreciate you all. This is a peaceful march, but damn it, we're gonna be loud. We are gonna be loud. We are here to make sure that people inside CERAWeek can hear us, whether they like it or not. They will hear us. We spent the last few days building together. We came together to create and build big, beautiful art. We settled into community, listening to our people and peoples, and connecting across these movements. We've seen the South. We're gonna move. We're gonna move. Because this is bigger than one city. From the Permian Basin to the Gulf South, from Appalachia to the global South, to communities across the globe, Sudan, Venezuela, Cuba, Palestine, to the communities across the globe facing the detriments of the fossil fuel empire. We are connected by the same systems. And today we show that we are connected to resistance too. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for deciding enough is enough and we need to act for our collective futures. Before we hear from our beautiful lineup of speakers today, we must first ground ourselves. This is not our land. We are standing on indigenous land, and it is only right that we begin by hearing from the first peoples of these lands. It is my honor to welcome some beautiful friends, but native leaders who will help ground us in this moment. So I'd like to welcome Krista Mancias, Jonathan Johnny Juarez, as well as Wania Locke. Round of applause for our native peoples.
Ete apole, mauta pele, met nawazo, met polpet. Ete apole, met nawazo. Yauna kakio, ayema anipa, estokna, ayema aka, apa. Ayema, swaya ama, paese. Ete apole, nawazo. Nena pele, met polpet. Tombran, pakna, yenke. Kauna kakio, metel akna, yenawi ye. Pelpol ete estok, ayema kwa apa ase. Greetings, relatives and blood relatives. Thank you for my ancestral relatives that are with the one that went above. Great Spirit, listen to us as we throw our voices for our struggling people. Give love, strength, much prosperity. Give life to our people. and Mother Earth. Hello, my name is Krista Mancias. I am with the Carrizo Comecco Tribe of Texas. I just opened with a prayer in our language, and I just read it in English. I just wanted to thank you for all showing up, and thank you for protecting your communities and your families and your lifeways, because that's our identity as Indigenous people and the original peoples of Texas. We are here to preserve and protect this land, this water, this air, and all of us as human beings to continue a life for future generations to come. And now I'm going to hand it over to John. Okay. Mahuel, Mahuel, Mahuel ko, Ankio, 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 Mahuel, Mahuel, Mahuel ko, Ankio, 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 Yan Yeshok na wazul, Ako ki alpa. Mahuel, Mahuel, Mahuel ko, Ankio, Ankio, Ankio.
Thank you so much for the beautiful song and the beautiful prayers. And I want to thank you all so much for being with us this morning. As was mentioned, my name is Jonathan Juarez. I am not originally from Texas. I'm actually your very close neighbor to the west. I am from so-called New Mexico. Specifically, I'm from the frontline indigenous communities of Laguna and Isleta Pueblos. And I want to thank you all so much for welcoming us so warmly into your city, and to everyone who has made this journey just so fruitful and so beautiful. I want to open this morning by acknowledging that we are gathered here today on stolen indigenous lands, and I want us to really think about what that means when we say that, because that means that the original caretakers and stewards of these lands are still here, and there is still a struggle here locally for rights and for protection. And I want to be clear that a land acknowledgement isn't something that we do at the start of our events to, feel good about it. It has to have action behind those words, because if there is not action, then it is meaningless. So when we say land acknowledgement, we're not talking about just symbolism and just empty words. We're talking about land back. We're talking about returning the rights of these lands back to their original caretakers, because we know, especially as our climate changes, it will require the indigenous wisdom that has been passed down from generation to generation of centuries of living in harmony with these lands and stewarding them. That is the wisdom that we will need to survive the climate crisis and to ensure that 7 generations from now, our children have clean air and clean water. Because there is no amount of money that the billionaires 2 blocks away from here can make that will ever be worth more than clean air and clean water for our children. So while we gather here today to fight the fossil fuel industry, we are also gathering to rally behind our indigenous relatives from coast to coast who are demanding land back. We are saying that when we fight for climate justice, we are fighting for indigenous sovereignty. When we fight for a livable future, we are fighting for the return of land all the way from here in the so-called United Snakes, all the way to occupied places across the globe, like in Palestine. So that is what I wanted to share this morning. And again, thank you so much. I'm going to pass it over to my relative, Winia.
I come from Standing Rock, and we have youth from Standing Rock and Cheyenne River. These are the same youth people that started the runs from our homelands to Washington, D.C. to demand that Obama shut down Dakota Access Pipeline that was encroaching on our treaty territories. They used Avenger missiles water cannons, dog attacks, bear mace, tear gas, and regular mace, and police brutality at its finest on 546 tribes across Turtle Island made it to camp and stood on our riverbanks with us, saying, "Shut down DAPL, no DAPL, Mini Wichoni, water is life," and 10 years of resistance of this pipeline. It was illegally built and illegally operating right now. And we're still saying, "No DAPL, Mini Wichoni, water is life," and we're still continuing this fight. But to be a part of something that was indigenous led, we're connected to this land genetically, spiritually, physically, and mentally connected to this land. And we encourage all the other and non-indigenous people to know your roots, to feel that connection that we have, that deep, meaningful connection with the land. Find your roots, find your language, find your own ceremonies, find your own culture, find your land and stand on it and pray with your ancestors, because that's what will make our world a much better place. And because of that, because of Oceti Shako camp and 546 tribes standing together, it was the most incredible experience ever, but it was also one of the most traumatic experiences. And that's what historical trauma brings. And these are the things that we have to realize and understand in understanding historical trauma. So I'm really thankful that so many people are here. I'm thankful for all the coordinations. I'm thankful for all the boring Zoom meetings that took place to make this happen, because we are ending the fossil fuel industry. We are society, and we're ending it, and we're saying no more at all. So thank you.
Just want to say, you know, in my language, and a lot of us, we don't have a word for prayer, but we do remember. And that's what we're talking about. We are remembering the traumas that each of us have been through in our fights at home. We remember the people that we have lost along the way to illness, or just because they have this trauma that is instilled in them. But we remember the land that we stand on, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, and us as human beings, because we need each other, and all of them. We need all of these elements to survive. So we remember those.
Alrighty, folks, let's give another round of applause for our beautiful Native leaders. Howdy, folks. My name is Armand Alex. I'm with the Gulf of Mexico Youth Climate Summit, and I am also a proud organizer of the Corpus Christi Democratic Socialists of America. Thank you so much for everyone that is tuning out here today and here on the Boots on the Ground. If you are just arriving, we are encouraging you to find a spot up in the staircase. If you see a gap, fill it in. We are confronting CERAWeek. We are breaking the system and building the future together. Look into the crowd. You'll see not just one particular face, but this group is diverse across demographics. Not one single person looks alike, and that is the collective future that we are fighting for. Before we get started with our next speaker, Shiv from Fence Line Watch, I do want to invite Tino from Tekalat, who is offering our language justice. Tino, there you are.
Buenos días todos. Yo me llamo Tino. Estoy aquí con mi cointérprete Hernán. Vamos a estar interpretando entre inglés y español durante la sesión de hoy. Good morning all. I'm Tino, and I'm here with my co-interpreter Hernán. We're going to be interpreting for today. ¿Hay alguien que necesita equipo de interpretación? ¿Alguien que necesita interpretación esta mañana? Is there anyone who needs interpretation equipment today? Okay. Bueno. Entonces, si encuentran a alguien que quizás no está entendiendo o necesitaría equipo de interpretación para mejor entender y ser entendidos en este evento, por favor, tráenos ahí. Voy a estar ahí con Hernán, vamos a estar ahí esperando para poder ayudarles a comunicar. So if you notice someone who perhaps could better understand this event, maybe they're Spanish monolingual speakers, please send them over to where Hernan and I are going to be, over where Hernan is. He's waving right now. Say hi. And yeah, we'll get them connected and we'll make sure that they can engage with this event as they should. And thanks to the organizers of this event for facilitating this to further Houston's push for language justice as we continue in this. Y muchas gracias a los organizadores de este evento para seguir la lucha para la justicia del lenguaje. Para los presentadores de hoy, vamos a pedir que hablen a ritmo moderado, voz alta, claramente y uno a la vez. Si necesitamos, so we're asking folks who speak today to speak at a moderate pace, loudly, clearly, and one at a time. Si necesitamos que hablen más despacio, vamos a hacer una señal así, si me pueden acompañar, pero con las dos manos. Y si necesitamos que hablen más recio, vamos a alzar las manos así. Y si nos ven haciendo esas señales, por favor, acompáñennos. So for the presenter speaking today, if we need you to speak more slowly, we're going to make a sign like this, if y'all could join me. And then if we need you to speak more loudly, we're going to do this. And if you see us making these signs, please join us to help communicate that to the person who is speaking. Pero ya, yo creo que ya eso es todo. Muchas gracias. That's going to be it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Tino. Thank you, Tino. All right, folks, let's welcome up our first official speaker on this program. We would like to, there's Shiv. We're welcoming Shiv from Festline Watch.
Thank you. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. How are y'all doing? I'm gonna do that thing that everybody does. No. Once again, how are y'all doing? We're here to make noise, right? How are y'all doing today? All right, my name is Shiv Srivastava. I am with Fenceline Watch. We are based here in Houston's historic East End along the Houston Ship Channel. Real quick, I know we have people from all over the country, even all over the world, all over the region. Who here is from Houston right now? Make some noise. H-Town. All right. This is for y'all. Y'all might know this, those of us from here, but to everybody that is not from Houston, welcome to our community. Welcome to our city. What you might know about Houston is that we're the energy capital of the world. That's what the marketing says. What we really are is home to the largest petrochemical complex in the entire nation. The second largest petrochemical complex in the world after Saudi Arabia. Our organization is called Fenceline Watch because in Houston we have no zoning. So you can have a house and have a petrochemical facility in your backyard. You can have a refinery in your backyard. You can have a chemical storage tank farm across from your child's daycare. What do you think that does if you grow up generation after generation with all of these facilities in our community? What does that do? We deal with multi-generational toxic harms of petrochemical production. Wherever you're coming from, whether you're from New Mexico, whether you're coming from Louisiana, whether you're coming from Canada, all of this infrastructure, these pipelines, all of these things snake their way down to Houston. And we're all impacted by it. What's going on at CERAWeek in the George R. Brown Convention Center right now is a bunch of CEOs, a bunch of multinational corporations making plans to put facilities in our backyard that we won't find out about until years from now when they're coming to seek a permit. They think that they have the right to our air, the right to our water, the right to our bodies. When I say this, I want y'all to repeat it after me. These are our communities. Whose communities are they?
Our communities.
This water? Whose water is it?
Our water.
This air? Whose air is it?
Our air.
We existed before them. We will exist after them. We do not need them. They need us. We have normalized it to shed blood for oil overseas, but people look at us crazy if we come here peacefully because we know that a vial of water in about 20 years is going to be way, way more valuable than a barrel of oil. Nobody should lose their life to make plastic. None of our children, none of our elders, no one should get cancer so they can make some kind of chemical to go and subjugate people in the global south, along the Gulf Coast, or anywhere in the world. So when I say, whose community is it? Our community. Whose water is it? Our water. And so when we march, when I say this, I want y'all to say this loud. Whose street?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shiv. Thanks so much. All right, folks, let's give another warm welcome to our next set of speakers. I would like to welcome up over here Eve from the Houston Arms Embargo. I'd also like to welcome up over here Astra from Ignition Front Houston, a part of Youth Climate Finance Alliance. And I would also like to welcome Richie from Houston DSA. Let's give a round of applause for our speakers.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eve, and I am with the Houston Arms Embargo Campaign. It's so great to be out here with you all today at Confronting Sarah Week. I'm happy to be here as we send a clear message to the attendees of Sarah Week, the poisoners and pillagers of our earth, who would see it turn into a pile of ash if it meant putting an extra dollar in their pocket. We are here today because we see their crimes against humanity and we refuse to be silent. After more than 2 years of ongoing genocide in Gaza, the brutality and corruption of this world dominated by these bloodthirsty capitalists has been laid bare for all to see. As Israel tries to greenwash their crimes, they drop millions of bombs that murder indigenous Palestinians in their homes. They burn entire forests down in South Lebanon. They poison the crops so that Palestinian people cannot live off their own land. But they do not do this alone. As it's been mentioned, the genocide is fueled, facilitated, and funded by corporate and public entities here in our own community in Houston. The Port of Houston is one of the most critical points in this global supply chain that fuels this genocide. Military cargo for Israel is regularly shipped through our port. The wings, tires, and other essential parts for Israel's crown jewel, the deadly F-35 fighter jet, arrive at the Port of Houston every 2 weeks. Israel could not commit this genocide without these fighter jets. And the fuel for these fighter jets is made in refineries run by many of the companies who are attending this conference today. The fight against genocide and fossil fuel imperialism is not isolated in Palestine. While the Port of Houston and these corporations facilitate genocide abroad, they also destroy our communities here in Houston. The same Port Authority enabling genocide in Gaza creates sacrifice zones near the ship channel where communities face devastating consequences and life expectancy is cut by 20 years. The Houston Arms Embargo is a campaign that concerns all victims of state violence and ecological destruction across the city. An arms embargo would mean an end to the genocide in Gaza, a defeat for U.S. imperialism, and a livable planet for future generations. The capitalist imperialist system will exploit and destroy the planet to the point of genocide and beyond. It sustains its profits through mass murder and environmental devastation. The only way we can ever fight back is if we come together as workers, organizers, and community members. We must unite the movement for Palestine with the movement for climate justice. In closing, we all are fighting the same imperial order, and we recognize that a liberated Palestine will lead to a liberated world. A world liberated from genociders, from for-profit polluters, from colonizers, and we will liberate Palestine whether in this generation or the next. Thank you. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
And I'm going to pass it over to my comrade Astra. Thank you so much.
backroom discussions and panels and celebrations to talk about and scheme on the future of energy. But do we really know what that means? It means when's the next community that's going to be targeted and have a refinery built right next to an elementary school? It's whose communities get displaced and bombed, not just on a local basis, but on international basis in Gaza, in Sudan, in Congo. It's the next community and the next people to sacrifice for short-term profit. And they call that the future of energy. They call themselves innovators as they pretend to fix the problems and put out the fires that they have caused. But we are here to say that the solution to climate change is not found in backroom discussions between politicians and oil and gas executives on which country to bomb next to exploit their resources and their oil. They are found in the hands of the people, hands of people like you and me who are working hard, not just to survive, but to build a better future. Because you and me, have a vested interest in building a better world, a better eco-socialist world, and we cannot do it alone. We must stand united as a solid front, not just against climate justice, but against oppression worldwide and on a local basis, because there is no climate justice without fighting imperialism and without fighting capitalism. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce my comrade Richie.
Yes. Shout out to you. Can I get a free Palestine?
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Y'all are beautiful, and this is a beautiful day, and I'm happy to be here. I'm so humbled to be here, joined by all of these amazing groups standing behind me. These are amazing people. These are amazing organizers. This is a terrible event to be at and terrible conditions to be meeting under, but I'm so proud to be standing here in solidarity with all of y'all. My name is Richard. I'm with the Houston Democratic Socialists of America. I am one of the co-chairs for our Stop Fueling Genocide campaign, which is a national campaign that focuses on Chevron as a boycott target. Chevron was identified by the national BDS movement as a priority target. Chevron supplies half of the energy that the genocidal apartheid state of Israel uses when they are doing settler colonialism in the West Bank and genocide in Gaza. And I look and I see that there are indigenous people there that are losing their homes and suffering the consequences of American imperialism. But it's not just over there, it is here as well too, in our own home, that we are suffering these consequences. Every time a bomb goes off there and drops on people here, it is done in the name of imperialism. And every time a refinery explodes, it's like a bomb in our own community that happens. So the poisoning that happens overseas happens here in our own land. And I don't think that the profits in their pockets for the people that are meeting in CERAWeek are worth more than the air we breathe and the water we drink. I believe that we need to stand and we need to march. And so I ask all of you to march with us to the George R. Brown Convention Center. Afterwards, we're going to be having a picket against Chevron. If you can come out to that picket afterwards, let your voices be heard like they are today. Thank you so much. Can I get a Chevron out of Houston?
Chevron out of Houston!
Chevron out of Houston!
Chevron out of Houston!
Thank you.
All right, folks, this is when things begin to shift, right? Because we're about to take this energy. We're going to get some hype from our band here in a couple of seconds, but we're going to take this energy from this space and move it into the streets. This march is not just symbolic. This is us showing people inside CERAWeek that we are watching, that we are organized, and that we are not going anywhere. So as we begin doing some lineup, we're gonna have some music playing, but please listen closely. We will be led by our first peoples of these lands in our march. Behind them, we will have our frontline communities, those living on the front lines of extraction every single day. And behind them, we will organize by groups and organizations as you so see fit. Our marshals will help guide us into formation. Please follow their lead so we can move together safely and powerfully. And so when we move, we want to make sure that we're moving together. And when we chant, I encourage everyone to chant today at least once, so we chant together. And when we take the streets, we take them with purpose. So let them hear us, let them feel us, let them know we are not sacrifice zones, we are not expendable, and we are not backing down. So we're gonna start moving, breaking down into formation, and our lovely band, if you'd like to play us some music, we can get some chants going as folks filter out into the streets. Round of applause, thanks so much, y'all. Confronting Sarah.